If someone hurts you, you should say so. If you love someone, you should say so. If you love someone so much that you hate it, you should say so. Even if you can't explain why you feel something, you should say so. And if you feel like you can't do these things, then I offer you some hope. You can fight against fate, simply because there are fates worth fighting against. And if we are unhappy with ourselves, that is reason enough to fight. Our lives aren't controlled by a single string of fate tied to us at birth, like a puppet left to the devices of a puppet master. Rather than puppets controlled by strings, humans are hand-knit dolls consisting of the many threads tied to the people around us. These attachments play a big part in creating what we are. Our first threads are the ones we attempt to tie to those who raise us. As a child, these first connections have a big effect on how the shape of us forms. Some of us are able to tie threads to those who are like solid anchors, and in turn, they tie their threads to us securely. These attachments are strong enough to support long bridges, capable of withstanding inclement weather and heavy loads. We miss these connections when they're not around, but are quick to warm up to them when they come by. Some of these threads we tie to people, but the threads they tie to us are loose and fragile. And when we're older, these threads become sources of anxiety and vulnerabilities. They will even affect other threads which are closely interwoven, or future ones not yet made. This is often when we find ourselves unable to communicate how we really feel due to the fear of being hurt or feeling vulnerable. Sometimes even thinking about these fears or feeling these negative emotions makes us feel guilty or stupid. Even worse, some people become numb to feeling these things because they've adapted to being hurt over and over again, when in truth, they're burning on the inside. We owe it to ourselves to strive to be better because we've fought for so long and endured so much. Additionally, there are those out there who have given you their threads in an attempt to hold you together and remind you that you're not alone in your journey. You also owe it to them because when you lose life, they also lose life. We're all suffering and struggling, trying to figure out the tangled mess that we've gotten ourselves into. So for those who are worth it, you need to fight for them because they fight for you. When you find these rare crimson threads, cherish them. Tell them how much they hurt you. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them that you hate how loving them so much makes you feel. Tell them how you feel, even if you can't explain why. You should tell them not because you think they can save you. You tell them because it helps you realize where you've been torn. Once you realize that, you can both fight together and patch each other with your own threads. So in your knitted life, cut out the toxic threads and weave in the threads which make you whole.